Hello and welcome to Vancouver Carpenter, Drywaller Painter. Today I'm going to teach you how to clean your paintbrush. So good paintbrushes are really important in my opinion, and I like to keep them clean because they're not cheap either. I mean, I do usually wait until they go on sale to buy the ones I like, but that means that I want to keep them nice and tidy because if I'm only buying them every 6 months, I want to have a bunch of nice brushes. Also, a bad brush can ruin a nice drywall install or a nice trim install, so you want to keep them tidy. Now I've got a nice Purdy brush here that I've been using. So first off, take a look. You can see, okay, there's a little bit of stuff dripping down right there, but I like to keep it nice and clean here. And it's gonna be nice and tidy when I'm done with it. So what I have for that is I have a bristle brush, so steel bristle brush, and I have one of these, a brush comb. Two very important tools. They'll make the job a lot faster. So next, you want to make sure that you do this in your customer's kitchen sink or ensuite bathroom. You don't actually, but... So here we are. But let's be clear, I'm talking about water-based paint. Do not try and wash an oil-based paint into your sink. Oil-based is different entirely. You just want to soak an oil-based brush in a jar of paint thinner. And I don't even like to use oil-based. I usually toss out my brushes if I have to. Let's get started. So I like to have the water medium heat, so not too hot. I find when it's too hot, it actually makes the paint get gummy and start to actually kick off. So I like to have it at a medium temperature. And the first thing I do is start getting some of this stuff. So I'm careful when I'm doing this. This is important. If you're just going crazy here, you're going to get paint splatters all over the place. Especially if you have no option but to do it in somebody's kitchen or bathroom sink. So I'm just gently getting all of this stuff off. So now I'm going to start cleaning off this part. This is the ferrule, I believe. I'm a carpenter, not a painter. But here we go. So we're getting all of that stuff nice and tidy. If you take a look, you can see most of the paint is off the bristles. I want to keep going until I get all of that stuff off. I don't want to see any of that paint on my bristles. I'm going to keep going here. And the longer you've been using your brush without cleaning it off, the longer it takes to get all the paint out of it. This is really just from about an hour of painting. And so next, I'm going to switch to this guy, because what this one is really good for is getting the dried paint off the outside. And the brush comb is really good for getting all of the paint that's inside here still. Can you guys see that? There's still tons of paint in there. So now I'm just going to use this to start getting the bulk of the paint out of there. And I like to clean my brush often. I'll clean my brush a few times a day because I like it to be nice and tidy. Even if I'm not switching paints, I will still clean it a few times a day. Okay, so now I can see the water is totally clear that's coming off of here. And I'm checking in here. You can see that's totally clean and clear. I now have nice clear water. So I'm going to quickly work on some of those more stubborn bits with the bristle again real quick. Because I like to try and get as much of that off as I can. But some of this was from a past job and it doesn't look like it's wanting to move. Although, if you clean your brush often, every time you clean it, you're going to get a bit more of this stuff off of here. Next, you want to look around the sink, and so you can see all this stuff, right? You don't want that on there. You want to wipe all of that stuff away. So I'm going to give my grubby old tools a shake. Put them on the customer's kitchen counter. But now I'm going to wipe all this stuff out of here with a rag, not their kitchen cloth. Because I don't want any of that stuff staying. It'll stay. I've seen a lot of nice sinks and faucets ruined by sloppy painters leaving paint splatters all over the place. You know, the mark of a good painter is not always just how well they put paint on somewhere, but how well they keep paint off of everything else. So it's important to stay nice and tidy. So next you're going to want to get that excess water out of here. And I like to just right all over the customer's floor. But actually we've got a concrete subfloor in here. This job is mid-renovation, but normally I would take this outside somewhere and I would only do this, like get all of the water out of it, when I am sure that there's no paint way deep in these bristles. because sometimes it can look like it's totally clean, but you actually have a bunch of paint in here. And that's bad for two reasons. One, you're gonna spray something when you go like that with white painty water. And the second is, as this dries, that stuff inside there is gonna get crusty and ruin the life of your paintbrush. So now this is nice and clean, and I'm just gonna kind of keep it nice and sharp like that. And I'm gonna go find somewhere that I can put it and it can dry out for the night. I'm not gonna put that cardboard sleeve back on right away that come with these when they're new, because what can happen is when you put a wet brush in that cardboard sleeve, you're gonna get mold growing inside that cardboard sleeve. I've had it happen. And then that's not a good thing, because then you're introducing more mold into a customer's job. Imagine painting a bathroom with moldy paint brushes. Not a good idea. So that's how I do my full brush clean, but I wanna show you guys something really quick. Another thing I like to do is I like to take this part from a bucket. So that's one of these taken and repurposed. I like to have just enough water in a bucket to cover halfway on the metal part. And I just keep them in here. So if I don't feel like cleaning my brushes, I can just leave them there overnight. And when you pull them out, they're already mostly clean. They'll just need a quick rinse off. So I know that was just a simple video, but I hope you at least got something out of it. And brushes are a tool, and I believe in taking care of my tools. I don't think they're disposable, and we have finite resources on this planet. So that's why I like to take care of my brushes, and that's how. Thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter, Painter Dude, and until the next video.